What you most want to find will be found where you least want to look. The comfort of our lives makes it so easy to dodge discomfort and just do the things that feel good in the short term. I've fallen into this trap several times in my past. I tried my best to make life as easy as possible at every step on my way, and I realized much later that this isn't the way to live a fulfilling life. Because the moment of bliss and achievement lasts just for a short time, and then there is this void left that I've automatically filled with cheap dopamine activities. I thought that the point of tasks, duties, and responsibilities was to be free of them, but the reality is that I was only fulfilled in the moment where I had tasks, duties, and responsibilities. Some of them were a bit annoying, but when I had the opportunity to embrace them voluntarily, I even had fun overcoming the discomfort. This idea that comfort is a good antidote to fill the inner void in life is wrong, at least from my experience. Adventure to excellence is a better antidote to suffering than the mere absence of suffering. When you are in your comfort zone, you do the things that are easy, and there are things outside of this comfort zone that are harder to do. When you move towards them, there is an inner resistance. Now, just because something is hard to obtain doesn't mean it's valuable. It's hard for me to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but it isn't valuable for me. So, we have to figure out what things are valuable and hard to obtain in order to grow. How do you find out what things fall into this category? I think you already know the answer. It is this thing in the back of your head that you try to avoid. It is the thing you know you should be doing, but you are too afraid or too complacent to do it. Most of the time, we know what we have to do. And if we don't know what we have to do, the thing we have to do is to figure out what we have to do. For me in the past, it was the discomfort of quitting Instagram and replacing it with reading instead. To stop being a pussy and go 6 instead of 3 times to the gym. And right now, it's to work even harder on my writing and editing to deliver you as many videos as possible and to help the members of the Better Human community. A lot of people know that it's better if they quit comfort and the cheap dopamine activities, but we must not forget that we have to fill the free space with discomfort we voluntarily want to overcome. Otherwise, you have nothing interesting to do and slip back to comfort. And this way of living, the voluntary overcoming of discomfort, is, from my experience, the only reliable strategy, because comfort is a temporary phenomenon. Staying in the comfort zone is short-term bliss, but first of all, can become pretty damn soulless, and second of all, it can turn into a long-term catastrophe because you get older and life confronts you with all sorts of new challenges. And if you didn't learn to confront challenges voluntarily before, you will have a hell of a time confronting challenges involuntarily. Most problems can be easily avoided by facing them when they are small, rather than later when they turn big. Your little trip to the underworld really doesn't need to be any more painful than it has to be. It's way better to confront challenges early on voluntarily with the mindset of exploration and mastery, rather than later involuntarily with avoidance and despair. If you become the person that voluntarily confronts challenges in life, you will have a heck of a life. I promise you that. And the fascinating thing is this: you don't make the world and its horrors smaller. You make yourself and your capacity to deal with horrors larger. You don't just tick uncomfortable things off your to-do list. You also change and improve as a person. Whenever you are dodging discomfort or are running away from something, it is your sign that it's time to turn around and face it. You are seeing yourself running. You know there is work to do, but you do something else. In the moment you turn around and face the problem, you instantly signal to yourself that you have faith in the part of you that's looking at the problem, and that will immediately produce positive emotion and diminish negative emotion. And if you do this regularly, it will turn into a habit. You should be afraid of the right things, and from my experience, there is no reason to be afraid of facing challenges voluntarily, but of the exact opposite. When you think about your life across its entire span, you will probably realize that not getting out of your comfort zone is the true discomfort. Now, let's get concrete. The thing that is holding you back in one way or another is probably fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of being too undisciplined, fear of all sorts of things. You don't have to tackle the whole problem in one day. If you can, good. But if you don't, have the humility to start small. I didn't start by going from 0 to 6 times a week to the gym. I didn't start by writing YouTube scripts every day, and I didn't read a book a month out of nowhere. All of these things were built up one step at a time. The crucial point is simply to not dodge the voice in your head that reminds you of the discomfort you know you have to overcome. Above all, don't lie to yourself. If you haven't gotten what you want, then you are not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you are bad for a season than to pretend to be good for a lifetime. Choose one discomfortable thing you will face voluntarily. One thing, and face it continually until you have unlocked it and turned it into comfort. And if you take this seriously, you can get out of your comfort zone right now and write a comment about the thing you are going to face. Join the free Better Human community if you want, and have a wonderful day.